Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.
And a very good evening to you and welcome to Newsline Live. Now then, a subject that has been much spoken about is of course the port and terminals in the port, east and west and so on and so forth. But the port remains one of the most challenging tasks in the country. It depends on how efficiently it's run. It employs thousands of people, and it is a vital component in Sri Lanka's development. And who better as our guest then this evening than the former commander of Sri Lanka's army, General Daya Ratnayaka, who is now the chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority. Very good evening to you, General.
Hi, good evening, Faraz. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to be on the program. I thought straight away I'd ask you, how is our port doing? It is a large employer and so on, so how is it doing?
I'll tell you frankly, it's doing very well now. Actually, we had a small drop when we got the second wave of COVID in October. October was okay, but November, December, we had a drop. But now it is picking up very fast, and we have now come to normalcy. In relation to other previous month and 2019, now we are doing fine. Just slight drop of about 2% in the overall efficiency of
so 2% less than the pre-COVID level.
Pre-COVID level, you're right. Yes.
And about how many people do you all employ?
We have about 10,000 people, almost 10,000 people.
Right.
Yes.
And so that's are they all employed during throughout the COVID period?
No, actually during the COVID we had system, and we introduced, and according to our doctors we have the best program to control COVID.
Okay.
And the health department helped us a lot, and President Secretariat and the task force all help us a lot. And based on their guidelines we develop a master plan to maintain, because this is a place where 24/7 you go to work, you can't close. And sometime you may know the port, airport was somewhat sometime closed, but port, no. Because 99.7% of our import-export take place through the port. So we couldn't, therefore 24/7 without any issue we continued. But during the most difficult period, from last year March, actually we had schedules, we developed schedules, we got some people who could be employed to work from home, we activated that. And port is a place where physically you have to come and work, and only the most essential people were brought in for us. And we worked, because we were managing sometime with about 1,500 people, though we have 10,000 people, most essential elements we got and work. Then we increased up to about 2,000 people. Basically we managed entire last year, especially from March to November and till the end of last year, we managed with about 3,000 people.
How's the bank position now?
Yeah, we're fine. And
have you got a big overdraft? Are you servicing your loans?
No, we have not taken any overdraft.
Okay.
But we have taken certain loans, but it is a manageable portion of our revenue.
Okay.
And we are managing it well.
Okay. And the Hamantara port also comes under your purview?
No, it is only 15% we have. Otherwise, it is managed by the Chinese company.
Can I ask you this question? There was a claim in the last administration that the loan taken out from the Chinese was settled with the money that the Chinese paid for the lease, and so clearly because they said PA was the
one who
prime
took the loan.
Yeah. So I thought I'd ask you to confirm or not whether this money was actually paid.
No, money did not. To my understanding, money is taken and came to the port authority. Then government took it back and
through the consolidated fund.
Took it to the consolidated fund, and also the loan also they have taken. We are not paying the loan.
Also
the treasury,
the
government treasury is paying back the loan.
Right. Okay. So there you go. That was just to clarify, because that was a claim during the last government that the Sri Lanka Authority actually had settled the loan to the Chinese, and as we now have it, it wasn't. Marian, I want to ask you this question because it's been in the news so much. The last government spoke about it, and discussions carried on through into this government post President Gota's victory, and there was this statement about India first and so on, and the East Container Terminal. And then all of a sudden, God knows what happened, but the East Terminal didn't go to the Indians, and we decided to keep it. And again, all of a sudden, the West Terminal. So what's the real story, General Daya?
Yeah, if I may be permitted to go a little back in the history, 2005 government came in after 97 years of port history. The second port was developed by that government from 2012 to 2008 to 2012. They built the southern port.
Yeah.
The breakwater was built, 6.5 kilometers breakwater, and with that three terminals to be developed within that southern port. Namely the CICT, we call Colombo Container Terminal. CICT now is operated by the Chinese, and that was built about 7-8 years back. You know that in 2013 completed and opened. Then it is fully functional now. About 3 million containers that terminal handles. That's of course 40% of our business is that.
Yeah.
Then the second terminal is the Eastern Terminal. In 2013 we started, and by 2015 we completed about 600 meters, and 420 meters fully completed, and about 600 up to 620 meters we completed the quay wall.
Right.
So thereafter, then the Western Terminal, the other one, it was not being built. So now the Eastern Terminal, previous government went and signed an agreement with India and Japan called MOC, and with that there was a big issue. The port, that portion was developed by the Port Authority. For Port Authority it was more advantageous. So when this government, His Excellency Gotabaya Rajapaksa came in, and the government came in, and so they had to deal with the Indian and the Japanese. So the people in the Port Authority, the management, people in the country and other interested party, everybody was going against it, giving it. So this government, being a government looking into the people's sentiments, they spoke to the Indians and got it now back to the Port Authority.
Right.
Now it is fully, Port Authority is in control, and we have 100% stake of that, and we are having the plan. We are now in the process of developing it. In the meantime, this government, last year in October, we started operating the Eastern Terminal after 5 years. The portion that been developed, we started operating, and there's a huge boost to the Colombo port development. Increase
That
in
business
capacity.
is being done by the ports.
Port.
Right.
Now we are operating it, and the rest of the development also we are in the process of finalizing the plans and the tender procedure and all that. Within next about a month or two, we will be starting developing the rest of the East Container Terminal. Then comes to Western Terminal. So again the government cabinet approved to give it work with the Indian companies, Indian and other stakeholders, and we have conducted discussions. We have now around say almost finalized the deal. So it
What
will be an
percentage
investment.
will we have, we as a country?
Sorry?
What percentage of that arrangement will we have?
Percentage is basically all this business is such that you go by either 65-35 or 85-15. This is the general system of this port operation, but here we have adopted this 15% to the Port Authority and 85% to the investors.
And how long does that?
35 years.
Okay, I see. Indians less unhappy now, or?
Yeah. Initially, actually, the Eastern Terminal they were working on, but I'm sure they are very. Actually, if you look at the business point of view, it is more advantageous of the western terminal than the eastern terminal for them.
Right. And for us as a Sri Lanka Ports Authority, which is better?
Eastern terminal is much more advantageous to us than the western
Because it's
terminal.
deep water?
No, both deep water. I mean,
Right.
the western terminal is deeper
Right.
for us. It's
Okay.
from 18 meters to 22 meters
Right.
you can go. So the eastern terminal only 18 meters, but 18 meters is enough now, and even for the future it is enough. But we have more advantages by having eastern terminal, because SAGT, the separate another terminal, it is on the other side of the eastern terminal, is going to be together. So that's also being operated by John Keels, and it will be coming to the Port Authority in 2029.
So by 2029, you have both sides.
Yeah, that's just one of the, I mean, that's very rarely you get in a port,
Right.
this kind of advantage. So it's more advantageous to the Port Authority.
I see. Okay. So the Indians are now working on the western.
Yes.
What sort of development costs do we talk about there then?
So Eastern Terminal, if you, the rest of the development, we may need about 550 million US dollars.
Right.
Then, I'm just saying rough figure.
Yeah.
Then the Western Terminal might go up to about 800 million US dollar, the whole construction and the equipping and all
Do
that.
we contribute anything towards the western terminal? Or
Yeah,
not?
15%.
We must do that.
Yes.
Okay. And with the east terminal, the 500 million approximately, where will you raise that money from? Will that be with?
Yeah, within Port Authority we have our savings, we have our money, we also generate money. With that money we can go, but towards the end of the whole thing we may have to go for domestic or loan. Yeah.
But I think what I'm really trying to find out is whether you'll be entering into any partnership agreements with
No,
anyone.
it will not happen for us, and we will go, but Port Authority has the capacity of taking a loan from a local bank or
Right.
international bank, because our balance sheet is very clear and good.
Right.
And so taking a loan is not a major issue,
Right.
but it will be towards the end of the project.
And thank you very much for your questions sent to us by SMS, of course, 0772 300 305. Now here they say there are hundreds of people, although employed by CTA, they sign and don't work in the port. The port looks duty and it looks dirty and neglected. Why can't you bring the former Army General and make it look, as the former Army General, why can't you make it look prim and proper, like a camp?
Yes, that's a very nice comment or question. Wait for another 6-7 months. End of this year, it will be a transformation. Today is so happened for us. We finalized the, we are working with the University of Moratua.
Yeah.
And we have been working for the last 6 months to develop a master plan to beautify the Port Authority. The first task given to me by His Excellency the President when I was appointed, he told me, go and see a particular port in Malaysia. He has personally visited, and he said it's like a 7-star hotel. So why don't you make it? And he wanted me to go. Due to COVID, of course, for us I couldn't go, but gone through all the details to Google. So we have finalized the whole plan. Port will be a place of a very, very nice, attractive place within this year. This year will be a year of transformation, as far as this is a very good observation. It's, I don't agree with, happy with the way it is in all aspects.
But you're working at it.
Finalize the plans. After New Year, we are starting.
Excellent. I'm so glad to hear. We'll come up with a slightly tougher question when we come back from taking a look at the headlines for this evening's primetime news. Don't go away. Come back after this break.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.
And welcome back to Newsline Live. We are in conversation with General Daya Ratnayaka, former commander of Sri Lanka's army and now chairman of Sri Lanka's Ports Authority. General, that one more question about the port coming through on by a question from a viewer asking about the phantom workers who sign on but they don't actually work there. Is there such a situation? Apparently there are hundreds of people who sign on but don't actually work.
No, there's nothing like that actually, because all
have you audited the figures, the actual numbers?
Daily basis. Of course, there can be, when you have 10,000 people, people have different shifts, different timings of working. 24/7 it is working. There may be few, but it is very difficult in that sense.
But there are no phantom workers?
No, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, now then, enough of the port. I need to ask these other questions. As a member of the, former member of the military and so on, how do you respond to observations, especially made from overseas elements, shall we say, that there is a militarization of Sri Lanka's key positions and so on, and that is not healthy for democracy and so on and so forth? How do you respond as a military man yourself and now the chairman of the Ports Authority?
I think they have, so from their point of view, they have not understood what is militarization. We got to redefine in that sense. No, there is no militarization. If it is militarization, military should control everything. Military should grab all the organization, policy making to implementation, everything. What is it? In Sri Lanka, we have never, I mean, our military is basically a hallmark of democracy. When we have very serious issues, our military has been behaving exceptionally well, very disciplined manner in a democracy, how to work.
I just want to add this to my question, because I don't mean to belittle or sort of say anything downwards about the military. I have all the due respect. I'm posing the question.
Yeah, I understand. A lot of people say militarization. There are about, say, if you take institutions like Port Authority or where there are chairmen, secretaries and other senior positions, basically government to government people appoint, there are hundreds of thousands of them. But how many military officers? And chairmen, if you take, there are only 6 chairmen out of about 200 to 300.
How many secretaries?
Secretaries, I understand, only 3 or 4.
Right.
Yes, that's all. So
is this?
If you say it is militarization, if they are not people who are serving, they are retired. I have worked for 5 years outside Sri Lanka in an international company. Having when
and you still got it in you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and so here when this government came in, invitation came to me, I took this over. It's a real challenge. I'm enjoying it. So,
and do you feel that you are actually delivering?
Oh my God, yes. So many, so much. I mean, lot of, actually there's been this country, the lack of discipline, lack of order, lack of various things when you have, I think the military officers can play a key role like me. I will definitely within next 2 years, you see, we are Port Authority, not by revenue generation, but disciplining. And the question that you asked initially, cleaning, beautifying this place, these are things that is our bread and butter. We live in a very good environmental friendly, nice environment, all that for us. So for so many years, I feel sorry about the port and people who have been working there, the way that their basic needs being fulfilled. They see the environment is very pathetic.
So many other questions have come in now. One of our viewers wants to know, why is it that you're selling parts of the port, I suppose like the Western Terminal?
Tell me, the nature of the business is such that it's a very risky business. A terminal operation is risky and very competitive for us. When it is very risky and competitive, getting other stakeholders is the order. Thus, even Singapore or rich countries like South Korea, US, UK, all the operators of ports, they get other people to, like shipping lines, the port developers, then port terminal operators. These are the key people. So ship operators, all these people get together and operate it. Then thereby you can minimize the risk. You can, in a competitive environment, they can have the edge.
Okay.
So this is how it is, and only very few ports in the world. If you take India, only about 12% out of 169 odd ports in India, only about 12 ports, terminals owned by the government.
How do you respond to this? I'm going to ask this question.
Yes, please.
However odd it may seem, but I'll ask the question.
Yes, please.
Somebody wants to know, what will you do? This is about two parts, this question, okay? So somebody wants to know, what will you do if, you worked abroad before, and then you came back and you answered the call of the nation, the president asked you to do it, and you've done it, and you're enjoying it, and so on. What will you do if this government loses the next time round? Will you then make a quick exit out of the country?
Why should I? Why should I? I am great love of this country, wherever it is, and I have not done anything wrong to be away from this country. I am not a person, and last government also I survived, and politics is not my game.
No.
So let us say this time, even last government offered me, when last government offered me diplomatic posting, but not that I rejected, I politely declined.
Diplomatically declined.
And because I took a very good posting, because as military officers our purse is not that heavy,
Okay.
So after working in the military,
So you managed to get some capital together,
yes,
some savings.
yes, that's right. So
do you keep that in dollars?
yeah, I earn in dollars.
And you keep it in dollars now? But I'm asking you because it's a loaded question, because of the dollar.
Yeah, I'm keeping some money, because thereafter, to fulfill my basic needs, educate my children, all that I got it done, and so I'm very happy, and I'm basically living on my own now, so without depending on whether I have a job or
so you came back after those 5 years abroad because
of a request.
Because of the invitation?
Yes, invitation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you kept your options open to go back?
Yeah, still I can go. I'm consulting. But if I announce, you ask the question whether the next government comes into power, whether I go. If the government offers me a good job like this or anything where I also can be of help to the nation, and I also can enjoy, I will definitely do it.
And what about, do you think that you'll be one of the first, somebody's enjoying this obviously, do you think that you'll be one of the first, if this government was to fail and so on, in an incoming government, do you think you'll be one of the first to be taken in for questioning and even locked up? Do you have any such considerations, fears?
No, I have nothing. I am very open. Anybody can check, and there are anybody can come and check us, and not only here. From the day that I was born, if anybody can find a fault, I have been in the Army Command, I have been in the military for 35 years. If anybody can find something to question me or ask me a question and put me behind jail, I will challenge if anybody can find a solution. Now, I
love that. I love that thing that you're saying. So there you go. Several questions. Everybody's wanting to know actually whether you will make the port an efficient place, because there is a perception that Sri Lanka's port, especially the government bit, the Ports Authority run bits of the port, is not efficient, and it's top heavy, and it isn't productive enough. And will you bring your army skills to?
Yeah, actually it's not army skill for us, it's managerial skills, and all what I experienced in the military, and I have taken, we took the military to a different level, we won, and I managed to develop concept operation for the final offensive. So all that I used to bring the port to a different, we have enough and more efficient top-class professionals in our port authority. Of course, as a result of this, politicians politicize the whole place, having large number of recruit. When we require only about 3,000 people, we have 10,000 people. Overnight, we can't send them out. So we have to find ways. We are developing it to gainfully employ these people. So we have all finalized. Now we will 10,000 people. We are going to run outside terminals outside Sri Lanka. We are going to operate some. We are working on that, and within next 2-3 years, you will see there will be a huge, vast change in the system.
That sounds champion to me, and good luck with that. If it is to benefit our country, we are all for it, I'm sure. But talking about politicians, and I'll ask you the question, do you have, as a citizen, forget that you are who you are as the chairman and that you are a former commander and so on, as citizen Sri Lanka, what do you have to say? What would your thought processes on what's happened to one of our politicians who today lost his seat, Daya Ratnayaka?
Yeah.
How do you view that whole thing?
My God, and politicians also must know how to behave, how to talk, and how to address, and when criticizing the court, the legal system of the country, and all that, they must have their discipline before they discipline others, before they point their finger at somebody else. Those people who must have that discipline to guard their tongue. So these are things, and losing, nobody else has done, and he himself got his
so he dug his own grave.
Own grave. So I have no criticism about it, and when you have people like that, and these are things, so that's quite natural the way he was behaving. It is not that he is a wrong person. He, according to his thinking, and he was criticized certain good things he did, and certain very openly he criticized things. Some of those are very good, but he went beyond the limits. Okay. That's what I realize.
We've run out of time. There are several other questions that I'm sorry that I can't take because we've run out of time, and my producer wants to hand it over to the primetime news from Newsfirst. Thank you for watching. Take care. And General Daya Ratnayaka, thank you very much for being on Newsfirst.
Thank you, Faraz. Nice meeting you again.
Thank you. And it's now the primetime news.